How are you?
How are you, Kevin?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm well. I just want to say that I do love your show and I respect it.
How old are you?
I'll be 30 in July, so I'm 29.
So you heard the starting part. A lot of women today almost seem like they want to be paid to be women. What do you think about that?
It's kind of true. It's
Okay.
true. I can admit we might have the wrong mindset overall with relationships.
Okay. Where did it come from?
I guess Disney fairy tales, um, our parents, aunts.
Are you single?
I am. I
Uh,
just got out of a situation actually, and I don't know if it's something that you talked about on your show before, but I think it's something that would be good for your show.
okay. With your last situation?
Yes.
Okay, we can get to it, but I don't know any Disney story where a man had to pay for a woman to be a
I
woman.
mean, not exactly pay for her, but the princess and just that type of thing.
Okay. The Disney. No, I don't. I don't. I'm trying to
No?
understand. Like, where is it that a princess? But anyway, what's the story you have?
Okay, so I'm just wondering, in your opinion, how do you feel about women who have been in the industry in general? I know you respect the hustle.
Say again.
Your phone's going slow. Women who have been in the industry, like the nightlife.
Let me put this headphone in because something's going with the audio. And somebody
Okay,
answer
no
your question
problem.
again.
How do you feel about women who have been in the nightlife?
Women working in the nightlife.
Yes, and then finding a real, authentic relationship.
Depends on what you mean by nightlife. You mean like dancing or something like that?
Dancing, bartending, being an entrepreneur on top of that.
No.
You know what? It's not gonna happen.
Well, I mean, those are three different things.
Hmm.
Being a
But
dancer, um, I don't, I, I don't know many women who walk away psychologically balanced, looking at men in a healthy way from dancing.
because we expect to be taken
Because it's a
care of, kind of like
game.
the
Well,
face
I
of
don't. I mean,
love.
it's like being a bartender. You see people at their worst, um, and so I mean, can it happen? Sure. Is it likely? Not really. Not healthy
Right.
because where the men that are going there are going for what reason?
To be entertained.
So,
Something that they're not getting at home,
well,
correct?
whatever it is, it's kind of hard to undo what you. If we see you out making money dancing, that's going to always be it's going to be in a guy's mind. So now bartending, depending upon where you're tending bar, but that's still that's not like dancing. But when you say entrepreneur, what does that mean?
E-commerce business, e-commerce sales.
See, the issue I have with all this kind of stuff is it's so hard to understand what it is. Um,
A small business online of selling products.
you could be flipping stuff on eBay or Amazon. That's
Having
fine.
your own. Okay.
Okay, but is it something that you know as long as it's legal? But is it something you plan on doing uh, for the rest of your life, or is it just something you're doing now?
Are you talking about the e-commerce business
Yeah, yeah,
or?
yeah. Because we talked
Yeah.
about dancing, we talked about bartending and stripping. Those are hustles,
Right.
short-term hustles. But selling something online, even if you're just drop shipping or whatever, but are we talking about building a real business or are we talking about a hustle?
No, building a real business, having a private label, having actual products, not just drop shipping.
Okay. Well,
And being a small business, but I think you said before, if your business cannot benefit the man, it's not as important. I mean, those
well,
weren't your exact words, but you get what I
that's the broad. Also depends on what you're doing. I mean, if a man wants a wife and kids, what comes first? How can what would something if you can't do it all? What gives?
what gives if
You got a
what
husband. If you're married and you got kids, how you gonna do all that in the business?
You're right. It would be hard to juggle, but it happens.
Does it?
I think so. I've seen successful women entrepreneurs, but
Black women?
okay, I've seen a lot of successful women, black entrepreneurs, but majority of the time they are single.
What do you get from that knowledge right there?
Um, it's hard to balance
There is
that
no
type of
balance.
lifestyle.
There
There is
is no
no.
balance.
Okay.
Because when you get an entrepreneur, you're generally getting boss bitch energy.
But what if you don't give off that energy?
A blind squirrel will find a nut. Somebody got to win the lotto, but I don't deal in what ifs. I deal in what is.
Okay.
Do you want to be the provider, or do you want your husband to be the provider?
I would want my husband to be the provider. I don't want to pay significant bills.
Okay, so again, it's one thing to have to take care of yourself, but it's another
Hmm.
thing to still be trying to be a mother, a wife, and a business owner. You cannot have it all. You got to give something up.
Okay.
You either
So
you give up the husband. Generally, to give up the husband is what you give up.
as a black woman, that's
Yeah,
normally what we give
yeah,
up. Okay.
because that's what you choose.
So if as a black woman that's not something that I would want to give up, do you suggest that I just stop my business and just search for that
Well, now
provider male,
that's a
the
different question.
husband?
That's a different question. All right. Why? Before I answer that, why can non-black women seem to balance being wives and running businesses like you're talking about, and being mothers, and not have to give up one or the other?
I think maybe so more white and non-black women were brought up to be that way.
Let's just go. If we go with that,
Hmm.
how do you change that energy? Because here's the thing. Before I don't want to get too far down that path because that'll take us off target. Okay, are you a wife? Is the question.
I
See, a
am
lot
not a
of
wife right now.
okay, a lot of women ask about later on, but the big question is, do you want to be a part of your husband's team, or do you want a partner?
I want to be part of my husband's team.
All right,
I feel like I'm a better asset by being a team player than me being the lead myself,
all right.
honestly.
How old do you say you are again?
I'll be 30 in July.
All right. Have you always wanted to be married?
No,
When did this happen?
probably when I started watching you.
And that's the problem. And this is the problem
Mm-hmm.
because so many of our women start to recognize later in life, close around 30, that this isn't the real play. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not as though the men are looking for anything different. It's like you have to be what those guys are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you got to have a job right now because you got to be able to take care of yourself. And most women want to be able to have a man who can provide, but men who can provide come with rules.
They do. And a lot of men who provide step outside of the marriage as well.
So
And that's okay, right? I'm just asking.
I'm asking you,
It's
can you
something,
if
mhm,
can you handle it? Here's a question: can you handle it if they do?
yes.
There's a reason. I know a lot of women don't like that, but a lot of women today want it all.